ಪ್ಲಸ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಯರ್ ಇಂದ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ತಾನೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ ತಾನೆ. ಹಂಗೆ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ
Is
ನೀವ್
looked
ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ
at. If you're, if somebody avoids those, then they're probably not going to get the rank ups, because that's part of the job as those ranks is attending hired events and helping doing the RP trainings.
ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಯ್ತು.
And not only that, but also to put in like a good look within PD and all that stuff for the new people that are wanting to come in and all and everything else.
Yeah, and plus, I'm saying, like, whenever I came in, all the way up until I was like my second or third rank of being a vested officer, I was, if I was standing around, didn't really, wasn't out on 10-12s or anything on patrols, I'd go over and watch the trainings. I just so I could keep learning, keep it fresh on my mind, so that way when I go out, chances are I wouldn't make any mistakes, just because I had it real, fresh on my mind. If you hadn't been on a little bit, and then you hop on, and you really haven't been around for the trainings or anything like that, you get out in the street, the pressure gets put on you at that point. You might end up forgetting something. You do a wrong charge or something like that, then that's a false arrest. And if we can't catch it and get that person released and they put a ticket in, that would be an RP-13.
Gotcha.
ನಾರ್ತ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕುಕ್ನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು
So if you got any questions about any violations, what to put on somebody, you're not too sure. It's always better to undercharge them. Do less, do the ones that definite. If you have any questions of it, call for a supervisor and just get some clarity on it, and then you can proceed from there. Just cover yourself so that way you don't
ಅವನು
make any
ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿವ್ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ
mistakes.
ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಅವನು. ಇವರು ಸೌತ್ ಅವರು
Will
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
do.
ಯಾರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೋ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಏನ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟು ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್ ಅವನಿಗೆ
All right. And then, do you have a screen recorder on your device?
Not a screen recorder, but I am live on Twitch right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's not an issue. It's just the only thing with Twitch is the streaming part. Anytime you come into a meeting, grouped up with people, we're talking about certain situations, make sure you turn that off. If people, they do try to watch people's streams to get inside info, seeing what we're doing, what we're planning, things like that. So if we go out to do something and somebody was watching your stream, you didn't have that off, that could come back to you, leaking information. So just be mindful and
Right.
always just, always remember that anytime a meeting's going on, you're in the floor, people are grouped up, let's say there's a big shooting over at Hands, and we're all, calling for all officers to PDG to group up and go. During any of the planning, make sure your streaming is paused. Don't stream any of that, and then you can continue your body cam once we pull out of the garage.
I got you.
Then, as a unbadged officer, if your body cam is requested for any reason, it's not always something that you're in trouble for. It could be something you were in the area, you might have seen and got a different perspective of the situation. But if you cannot produce the body cam, you don't have it, that you will receive a rep. As a unbadged officer, one rep is an immediate dismissal. Badged officers and higher, 3 reps is a dismissal. If you get a rep, it's not the end of the world. It happens. We make mistakes. That's why you get the reps. For make a mistake, you get an extra chance. The rep, it'll stay on you for a week and then it'll fall off.
I got you.
We do have zero tolerance for gang affiliation, meaning no riding around town with them in their cars or your cars. No hanging out their gang houses, going to house parties, anything like that. You can do business with them, buying, selling cars or whatever. And
ಇದೇ ರೂಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂಚೆ
sorry, hold on, just lost my train of thought. My dog over here bugging me.
ಈ ರೂಮಿಗೆ ಬರಕ್ಕೆ
But yeah, buying and selling cars, just go to a suited officer and just say, or yeah, a suit, and just say, hey, can I get a 10-6 to go sell this car or buy this car? They'll either ride with you or will send a vested officer with you. We always stay paired up anywhere we go. It's just, always better to have two than one, so you got somebody to watch your back. And then, of course, you would always, have your body cam going. And then same thing with the admin events. If you go to an admin event, just put it in the Freg chat, which is a /FREG, or the Flobby chat. And just say,
Alright, if anybody needs a
if there's a
video,
suit next to you or
let
near
me
you,
know,
just let them
because
know,
this is
hey,
the
going
third
to
time already.
this admin event, and you take a personal car, have your body cam going. You just want to let somebody know, so if they see you leave, they're not thinking that you're just taking off on your own. Do you got any questions about anything?
Not that comes to mind.
Okay, Victoria. Victoria might be eating dinner.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. You got any questions that you'd like to ask?
And RP, how long were you in Lindbergh, PD? How long were you?
I was in Linwood for a couple of days.
Oh, okay. What happened over there?
Hey, Ace. You remember,
Just
can I
wasn't
get you to
really
come to Floor when you got
clicking
Gotti
on
Jr. here
how
for
they,
you, brother?
are running their PD force and all that stuff. It was, wasn't really strict on, they weren't, doing stuff right.
Yeah, that's understandable. Well, you're in for a treat over here because
Hey, Ace, you want your
we are
wavy
the
hat?
number
You
one
got
rated
Gotti Jr. on the
faction
first
out of
floor
all of
looking
one
for you,
state.
brother.
We do everything by the book. We RP a lot. The civilians RP with us a lot. So, we do have a lot of fun. We do, training with other factions, RP scenes with some, gangs and factions and stuff like that. So we usually got a lot going on, throughout the week, a lot of different events and stuff that we do.
Okay.
You got any other questions or anything? Did you have any other questions?
Me or Victoria?
You.
Oh, no. Like I said, if I do have any questions, I will definitely ask, the proper chief and all that stuff.
All right. Give me just 1 second.
You're all
And then it's just a little tradition here in Mesa. When a little congratulatory tase when we hire somebody or give them promotion, we give them a little tingle. We don't do it out in public in the lobby, stuff like that. We do it in a private setting. And if you see a colleague get a promotion, you want to give them a tase. Just tell them to step into the the training room downstairs.
the training room or the gym.
Yeah. Just have them step in there, and you can do it in there. And then just one last thing. Let me go ahead and get you to read this real quick.
As an unbadged officer, I am not allowed to talk, tase, or shoot any civilians. Floor 1 is prohibited. I am not allowed to spawn any cars, but I can go on a ride-alongs with a vested or suited officer. I do understand.
Okay. Like I said, floor 1 is prohibited in the lobby area and the jail area. Like I said, you can't go in the receptionist desk and, engage with the public and, just greet them as they come in, find out what, business they have here, and just, direct them in the right way.
I got you, boss.
All right. If you could, Capo, you want to go ahead and take him over. And you do have, next hour or so to get your RP trainings done.
ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Want me to take him down, Cap? No?
Okay, yeah, 'cause we
What?
gotta get.
ಆಮೇಲೆ
I said, you want me to take
parking
him down?
Yeah.
Hold your mic real
All right.
quick. So, that way, we don't get you lost in the system. So that way we're not trying to track you down. We just got to get that done immediately after this.
Yeah, no. I do actually have one. I do actually have one very question. If I do end up getting my bar filled up, do I just wait until I get the next ranking, or do I ask for
ಅದೇ
it?
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
Yep. This us CGs, the DFGs, and the chief, we keep an eye on that daily. So don't ask for a rank up. We'll watch it. When we see your
Okay.
bar full, one of us suits will come and question you, see how many ride-alongs you've done, the progress, and everything you've done. So that way, if there's something that you need to do, then we can guide you in the right direction. If at some reason your bar's full and you've gone away, a couple of days and nobody said nothing, then just go ahead and come to me and just ask me what's up with it, and I'll look into it.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that beforehand because I wasn't too sure if anything, I had to see
Yeah.
something, I'd do anything or whatnot.
Yeah, no, we keep a good eye on it. We like to get people promoted up. So, going into a badge, getting your badge, you'll have a badge test to take, a couple extra things to do. And then, they'll teach you all that down in the training. And then, going into a vested, you'll have different tasks and things that you got to do to complete it to get those ranks. We make it on merit instead of just the XP, so that way when you go into that position, you'll be fully trained and ready for that position. We don't want to send you out there and you go out and not know exactly the duties and what you should do. So that way, we want to set you up for success when you step into that next rank.
I got you. I appreciate it.
Yep, not a problem. If that's it, then you go ahead and follow them. They'll take you over to verify the macros training.
Hey, Ace,
Yeah.
you got Gotti downstairs waiting for you.
All right.
Check follow cool and he would do your macros. Oh Lord have mercy, I had to do Discord paperwork.
That's a long time, Finn.
Man, I just hopped online, I see Smitty's message, I was like, oh my god.
Is time still going or is it over?
One more post.
It's over.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies PG ಮಾಡೋದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಿಕೋತಿ ಬೆಟರ್.
I thought this was a
Hey,
long
cool.
one.
What's your 20?
Yeah, because we had that situation with Ricky first.
Someone has to have the BCS wiki killing text
ಯಾರು
on
ಬಂದು
floor
ಜಗಳ
one.
ಮಾಡಲ್ವಲ್ಲ.
I know somebody has to have it.
I was up here because Rose thought Rick kidnapped me. I was like, no, I was with Ace.
The only thing I have is I came downstairs and I seen text on the floor. I was like, oh my god, who the hell? I thought he responded.
I just came up here to say, look, Rose, I'm okay. I was with Ace.
ಸೀನ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು.
She worried.
Here, give me just 1 second, Sky. Let me get that figured out. Actually, Victoria, you got the macros and everything, right?
For which one?
Which one, Sky? The regular? Yeah, Sky, he just wants them sent to him. Trying to wait and see what he says. I think the regular ones. He just wants to double check his macros and change anything that's been changed.
The only one that's changed was, the Amanda White one. Which I will throw up in the chat now for him. That's the only one that's changed.
ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ PG ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಮಜಾ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಎಂಟಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು.
Yeah, and then Sky, once I get to my, I'll hop off for a minute. I'll go into Discord and I'll send you the ones that I got, so you can double check the rest of them if you need to.
Because I don't think I've got the others.
ಇಯರ್ಲಿ 3 PG ಅವಳದೆ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿತ್ತು ಜಾಗ
Okay, I'm
ಒಂದು ಬೈ ಮಾಡಿ
gonna look up for a bit and I'll be back later.
Yep, I'm probably about to do the same.
Who said they were ready for you for one?
I'm gonna go back to my apartment.
What was that, Capo?
So who said they was waiting for you on floor 1?
Oh, Texas, I think.
ಬಟ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಪಿ ಜಿ ಇದೆ, ಹೆಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು?
Okay.
ನಾವು ಯಾರನ್ನಾರ ಪಿ ಜಿ ಓನರ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಈಗ ಓನರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಅವ್ರೆ, ಬಟ್ ತೆಲುಗು ಅವ್ರು ಮಾತ್ರ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮಾರ್ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಅವರು.
Just on you. I'll just take him for the charge that you've got.
Jimmy, your needs
ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ
macros and his part 2.
ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ?
It's either I take you in or you hand yourself in. Unfortunately, so. I know
Just
you
letting you guys know.
but
Really?
Hey, Deputy Tommy, you got a
Texas.
copy?
Damn.
Yeah, man, I just came back from Cancun.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Just give Ace a sec, sir, Jimmy. He will help you.
Yeah, this was the closest character I could get without looking old.
ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಗರುಡ ಚಪ್ಪಡಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ
Figured it would keep some people off my back.
No.
you've got my
They
suit.
come after the name.
I'm trying to see if I'm trying to see if Frankie will still be able to hire me, even though I got that cool down. I was in Alameda, and before Erica took over, I got kicked out of the faction. And as soon as she got chief, she was able to get me a uniform still.
ಅದೇ ರೋಡ್ ತಾನೆ?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's up with it.
Yeah, if not, then I'll probably see if moderator Samuel can break the cool down or see if there's a way around it.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಮೆಟ್ರೋ ಸ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ, ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ.
Yeah.
He's got no violation, but he has one violation.
ಸೊ ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಜನ
I've explained to him that I can't let him
I'm
in.
gonna
if he's got a violation.
I'm gonna see how it is being a white guy. Maybe I can break the N word from being said a lot in my vocabulary.
So what does he mean?
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದವನಾದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು.
Like to turn yourself in and go to jail?
It's not letting him turn himself in. He wants to go and get his do his visitation and then come back and hand himself in.
Ace, when you're done there, you want to help?
I've already explained that he can't do visitation if he's got a active warrant.
What was that?
Jimmy's sitting there patiently for the past hour. He's done his macros. He's done his thing. He needs part 2 and to get it done. Jimmy's sitting there waiting for you guys.
Oh, he's waiting on a second interview.
Yeah, and he's finished his macros, which is a macro test course.
Okay. Have you verified any of the macros?
No, sir, because that's not my job. I tried getting it verified. No, dude, we've just been busy, so.
ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಇನ್ನು ಬೇರೆದಕ್ಕೇನೋ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲಂಚ ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ.
Did you get the violations put in?
ಫುಡ್ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾ ಪೇಜಿಗೆ?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't.
Jordan.
You need to be down there watching over the RP1, RP2.
10-4. I tried doing that, but to no avail. I just wasn't able to help out, sir. So this is the best place I'm able to help out.
Yeah, but again, you're helping out a lot because if there's a vested officer, come on.
Alright, if you guys need help, I'll be on my way.
So I guess when you give me your ID, I ran it through the system. It doesn't show you on the
It says badge number. You just pick any 4-digit number to put there.
Yes, sir.
All right. If you want to go ahead and stand up, I'll take you upstairs and we'll do this interview real quick.
All right.
I just got to cuff you. You're not under arrest, just so I can take you up the elevator.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನ ಈ ಕಾರ್ ಲೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ ಲೋನ್ ಒಂದೈತೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಸರಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾನೇ ಕಟ್ಬೇಕು.
I'm doing. I'm not sitting there, saying, "Hey, I'll help you out." As long as you're there, watching over it and conduct how it's been doing, that's all we need. Other than that, make sure you stay.
Yeah, usually you teleport through it. Here, I'll go ahead and uncuff you real quick. All right, just go ahead and follow me. Just have a seat right here in front of the desk.
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಡೇ ಉಚ್ಚಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ.
How's your day been going?
Pretty good. How about yours?
It's been a day, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, the lobby has been entertaining, I could say.
Yeah, finally got that situation resolved. If you could, just go ahead and tell me what your name and game is.
Jimmy Olsen.
Okay. What brings you to PD? Why do you want to join?
I want to contribute to making the streets safer and making sure that the citizens of the city enjoy their time here.
Okay. Of course, this whole interview is NRP, just so you know. How long have you been playing one state?
I think about 2 months or so.
Okay. Are you on any other servers, or is this the only one?
Yes, sir. I did most of the gameplay on Yuba.
Oh, okay.
Medical pack.
Oh, okay. All right. So, what brings you to Mesa?
Well, it has a kind of a similar population to Yuba, so I figured, I'd probably feel the vibe and wanted to, try to make the streets safer in this faction, rather than after the fact to try to, see if I can't intervene and save some lives before they're lost.
Yeah. So, just touch base on, the PD here. We are the #1 rated faction out of all of one state. We do everything by the book, pretty strict with it. We do have certain procedures and policies that are in place. We have a lot of good engagement with RP throughout the community. Of course, there's going to be those ones that just, want to try and not RP, try to, get us caught up on things. So, just be mindful of what you do and how you interact with things, and you should do all right. Have you used any other names over here?
No, sir.
Oh, okay. So, what have you spent your time doing since you've been in Mesa?
Well, when I first joined up, I was approached by a 3 or 4 person gang, and joined their crew, and basically just worked jobs. It was a pretty quiet setting, and most of the 3 or 4 people in the crew weren't really on very often. Um, so yeah, I just did some side jobs and civilian my way around.
Okay, gotcha on that. So are you pretty familiar with what the chain of command is?
I got the general idea.
Okay. So basically, the hierarchy of ranks. Anybody that's above you in a rank, they ask you to do something and you don't do it, that could be considered insubordination, depending on what they're asking you to do. Just briefly touch on the unbadged part. Let's say you're unbadged, and I'll explain all this just in a minute. But if you're unbadged and you're out on a ride along and they get into a shootout, he's telling you to get out the vehicle and engage. You do not want to, follow that order. You stay in the vehicle. If they try to say something, they're the ones that are going to be getting in trouble for trying to get you out of the vehicle. As an unbadged officer, you cannot get out of the vehicle. And then, if you have any questions or anything, you don't just go straight to the chief or the DFGs. Just, as an unbadged, you'd go ask a badged
Okay,
officer.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'll have to learn all the little requirements and rules like that, so I make sure and to know that there's no exception to something like that, even if being ordered. That's an important scenario to understand.
Yeah, depending on what the order is, just like I was saying, if you're unbadged and somebody's telling you to get out the vehicle and engage, do not follow that order. That will get you in trouble if you do it. And if you don't do it, you stay in the vehicle. You just, come let a higher up know, hey, this officer was trying to get me out the vehicle to engage. So that way we can have a talk with them and get them corrected on that. If you could, with the chain of command, just kind of, have you had PD experience before?
No, sir. I spoke to an officer about 6 weeks ago when I was starting in the medical faction. Just kind of got a little bit of the rundown.
Okay, so just kind of touch on the ranks. As you come in, you'll be unbadged. Above you will be a badged officer. You'll both have the same uniform style. Just one will have a badge and one won't. The ranks above those are the vested officers. That looks like the guys wearing like the bulletproof vest, tactical gear. And then there's a few ranks of those that have different things to distinguish them. Like when your first rank as a vested officer, you'll have just the bulletproof vest, on. The second rank up, you'll get the leg strap with the gun on your leg. And then the third rank up and the vested will be the scarf that goes around your neck, and that's the colonel. That's the highest vested officer rank. And then above those will be the suits, kind of like what you see us wearing.
All right, unbadged, badged, vested, 1, 2, 3, and then the suits.
Yeah. And then, are you pretty familiar with the RP rules and where to find them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me what RP 13 is, and in your own words, just kind of give me a brief description of what that means.
13's about following faction rules, not breaking any rules of the faction, like unwarranted release of a player from jail. So, like in my own words, would be, I mean, any faction rule really, for that matter. So, I mean, just being disrespectful to a member of the faction or a civilian out of RP reason, or shooting somebody that has no reason to be shot, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's non-faction role play. So, like you said, releasing people from jail. Taking a civilian hostage. Could be releasing people, looking the other way while crimes happen. Anything an officer wouldn't do in real life, we don't do here. The RP-13 is an immediate dismissal, and depending on the severity of the case, it could be 30 minutes in admin jail up to a 3-day device ban. Then if you could tell me what RP-14 is.
14 is a rule against any kind of sexual harassment or unconsented actions. I think it also kind of blankets any form of like racism or discrimination and that sort of thing as well.
Yes, correct. That is, any form of sexual harassment, whether it's verbal, physical, through messages, any kind of harassment whatsoever, and including any kind of discrimination. And the RP-14 does carry kind of the same penalties as the RP-13s. Some cases they might have harsher penalties.
Yep, and really falls kind of under RP-13 as well, in my opinion, because it's not conducive of the actions of an officer.
And then, the rules as an unbadged officer, kind of what I touched on previously. I'll hit that in a second. Can't leave PD for any reason. You are allowed to do the admin events that pop up. Just put in the freg chat, which is /FREG, or the lobby chat. They'll teach you about those in the training. You're going to an admin event, or just let a suited officer know, so that way, if we see you leave, we're not thinking, oh, he just took off out on his own and you get in trouble. You do take a personal vehicle to the admin events. And floor 1 is prohibited in the lobby area and the jail area. Unbadged officers can go sit in the receptionist desk area. And the reason behind that is you're not allowed to defend yourself. You can't use a taser, a gun, cuffs, or anything. So if you're in that receptionist desk area, they can't get to you. And that'll give you a chance to, get comfortable with, communicating with the civilians. Anybody comes in, just greet them.
മധ്യപ്രദേശ് ഹേതംപൂരിനടുത്ത് ട്രെയിൻ ഇടിച്ച് 4 പേർ മരിച്ചു. ട്രെയിനിൽ നിന്ന് ചാടിയ യാത്രക്കാരെ മറ്റൊരു ട്രെയിൻ ഇടിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. സമീപത്തെ ട്രാക്കിലൂടെ വന്ന ട്രെയിനാണ് ഇടിച്ചത്. നിരവധി പേർക്ക് പരിക്കും ഏറ്റിട്ടുണ്ട്. ജിതിൻ ചന്ദ്രൻ വിശദാംശങ്ങൾ നൽകാനുണ്ട്. ജിതിൻ, എന്താണ് സംഭവിച്ചത്?
Squad cars. You will see in the menu at the top 3 lines there's a faction section. You will see a daily task in there for spawning a patrol car. Just let a suited officer know, hey, I'm going to do that task to spawn a patrol car, just so they know, so they don't think that you're going to grab a car and take off. And we can try and keep track of what cars are in the garage, so that way, any of these cadets that come through that just trying to troll and steal cars and stuff, we can just kind of keep an eye on them.
10-4.
And you are allowed to do mission patrols, as we call an MP, up here on the 2nd floor across the lobby in the dispatch office. You'll see a blue circle that says mission patrol. You go into that, activate your patrol. A squad car will spawn in the garage. It'll have like a little red drop marker looking on it. Use that car and that car only. That way, you don't end up getting yourself in trouble if you jump into the wrong vehicle and go out. Then you would actually, you're not on a mission patrol at that time.
I'll get those as unbadged.
Yeah, that's going to be your main source of XP as an unbadged officer, is doing the mission patrols. And they're also good for in the menu, like the events that pop up. It'll say complete 10 jobs. The mission patrols count as that. So, those will help out with your events also, with rewards and extra money. Then
Yes,
you
sir.
are allowed
So would that be an example as to when I would put up in the chat that I'm going to be leaving?
Yep. The mission patrol, you would actually have a 10-12 macro that'll say mission patrol. So you want to make sure you hit that macro when you go, So anybody that sees you leave, we know you're doing a mission patrol.
Okay, I understand. I remember that macro now. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't if you're gonna do like 10 of them, each time you come back, you do not have to hit the mission patrol macro. Since if you do it when you start it, then you'll be okay. And then you are allowed to do active ride-alongs with a vested officer or a suited officer. In that stance, you'll be out on patrol and just think yourself as a paperweight. You can't get out the vehicle. You can't talk to anybody. You can talk to police officers. And on the ride along, you can't use your gun, taser, none of that. Just sit there, observe, and soak up as much info as you can. Learn the procedures of different interactions. If at any chance, let's say somebody tases y'all out the vehicle, do not react to them. If you try to tase them, shoot them, whatever like that, you will get in trouble over it. Being unbadged, you just want to try just get back into the vehicle. If they do shoot you, then you'll respawn here. If your partner ends up dying, just go ahead and hit the respawn button and come on back.
Oh, if I'm left alone, then do the respawn command.
Yes, if the officer dies. Sometimes something's going to happen where he ends up in a quick pursuit. So if he disappears for a minute, just wait. Listen to the radio. If say 5 minutes goes by and nobody's come back, then just get on the radio and ask, hey, I had a officer I was with, he hasn't returned. Just try to see if he had spawned back. But if they do die and you didn't notice it, they should try to get a hold of you over the radio and tell you to respawn.
Sure. And then if I do see him die, within sight, then just go ahead and respawn so we remain together.
Yeah, so that way, you can regroup back at PD and go back out.
Got it.
With situations like that, there is a rule, I believe it is RP10, that, when you die somewhere, you can't return to that exact scene, that spot, for 15 minutes. But with that said, if it's a big shootout, something like that, if you're down the street at a different location, that's okay. So, just because you're on a 15-minute cooldown doesn't mean you can't go back out. You just can't go back to that, that same exact spot.
Okay, understood.
And we do require, being active 2 hours a day, 7 days a week. Is that could be any issue?